Good morning.
Hello. How are you, young Mike James?
It is November 14th, 2024.
Yep, it's happening.
It's 5 a.m.
Do
and we're live.
you know where your cats are?
By the way, we are live. So if anybody wants to join us, you won't be on. Well, never mind. I'm making this complicated. Never mind. How you doing, Brian?
I'm fine. I think what you're trying to
Good.
say, Mike, is you're either with us or you're not.
Yeah, you're with us or you're against us. Yeah, whatever.
All right. Well, it is a beautiful morning here, or afternoon wherever you are, and
It is beautiful here today. My wife Jenny is off to nationals for pickleball this morning. She's a little concerned as she left because she has liver breath.
oh, you hate to see that happen. And she's
She had
young.
eggs. She had liver and eggs for breakfast.
Yeah, you hate to see that happen too.
I am not. Do you like liver? I cannot stand eating liver.
Oh my gosh, I hate liver. My mom used to make it, and then I would shove it under the mashed potatoes. But then, what else am I supposed to eat? I have to pick around the mashed potatoes.
Like you shoved it
Shaped
up
like
the
liver.
mashed I've never liked liver, but it's really good for you. You're supposed to eat it, but I guess
Yeah,
I
that's a old wives' tale.
it is a wife's tale. My wife, when we were first married, she wanted me to eat liver because it's healthy, and so she made some casserole thing. I don't remember what it was, but she put liver in it, chopped up real fine, and just not a ton of it. Apparently, that's what she claims. And right away, I was like, "What's in here?" And she said, "Beef,"
Beef.
which is correct, but it didn't take me more than a few bites before I realized this is liver. Wait a minute.
Hang on a second. I wasn't born yesterday. Yeah, I don't. It's got that certain taste that you can't even put a finger on.
Yep.
It's that liver. It tastes like liver.
It does. It tastes just like liver. If you've ever had liver, that's exactly what it tastes like.
Yeah, liver is liver, and I don't think there's any other.
Yeah.
It's not the best way to start the show off, Mike.
So, what was new with you this last week, Brian? What were you up to?
Let's see. This week, let me go to the calendar.
Yeah.
A couple classes this week. I've got some really good classes going on. My improv class is a lot of fun. I got 5 people. Two mysteriously just dropped out on me. It was just happened to be the guys. So I'm stuck with these 3 ladies who are just absolutely hilarious. And we're having a good time.
Yes, you are. And
we're learning a lot. And
you're having fun.
And I'm having fun. Yeah, no, it's great. It's a different type of teaching because now you get more time, more repetitions in certain games, and can really work on being good. And they were good out of the gate, so that's why it's a lot of fun. So
that's cool.
That going, and then I had a near. I don't want to call it a fist fight, but we did have a near argument that escalated very quickly in my stand-up class, and that's always fun.
That's funny.
Whoever says comedy doesn't have consequences, nobody says that, but you know what I'm saying.
You ever seen a group of comedians fist fight? It's pretty funny.
Oh my gosh,
it's a lot of pie throwing.
Yeah, rubber chickens. A lot of, oddly enough, the fights usually start with a slap in the face, and it used to, how they used to take a glove and slap you in the face.
Yeah,
it's always like a metallic glove. Like, where did that come from? I will say this. When you said that, it made me think, comics fighting is, it's a lot of, but like every superhero movie, it's always the nerd who turns into the superhero, and suddenly they have fighting skills.
Yes.
Like good, cool, flipping around fighting.
Not only do they have strength or whatever their power is, they also have suddenly become extremely intuitive and excellent fighters.
So, like, okay, I'm going to give you 2 examples. Okay, my all-time favorite, Spider-Man, right? Mm-hmm. Peter Parker is a nerd, gets picked on constantly, everything, right? And then boom, flipping around, excellent fighting skills, right? You can't assume that, because I don't know, I've seen spiders in nature. They're not flipping around. They're just kind of, and that's it. So, I mean, if it was Peter Parker going around hugging people, that might be weird, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
And
more
sucking their bodily
yeah,
fluids
that
out of
might be
them.
more of the fighting style. So you got that, and then you look at like Superman, right? Superman, yeah, he's just like naturally strong, so you don't really need a fighting style when you can fly. That's my opinion. And hey, differ with me if you want, people.
That's
But
just your opinion.
but I will say, by the time, because my favorite line, I'm not, you know, and you, Mike, we go back a long way. You know, I'm not a DC guy, but anyway, with Superman, okay, if you go back to the Man of Steel, right? General Zod. So you were born in a barn or whatever, on a farm, whatever the line is. It's true, right? Because you'd think now General Zod, being a military guy, would just destroy, even if strength were equal at this point. I'm
Yeah,
just pointing that out.
yeah. I agree with you. I think it's I love finding the inconsistencies in fantastical stories.
Yeah.
Or the things like I remember when I was in the Navy, we'd watch some military movie or something, not just like some action movie, like I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie or something where there's
Right.
action, and the gunner's mates on board would always be counting every bullet. The gun doesn't hold that many bullets, or he wouldn't be out by now, or what. It was always that, ignoring the fact that these are aliens attacking or some other
Right.
fantastical crazy thing. But the whatever their expertise, whatever the person's expertise is, like for me, I'll watch movies and I know computers really well and technology, and I will always be like, there's no reason the text would come across that slowly and beep with every character.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Anytime you have an insight into an industry and you watch it, that's the best.
Yeah.
You're for instance, anytime we watch a movie that anybody's golfing in, my wife is just picking apart the swing.
Yeah,
She's bet. Like, that is the worst swing I've ever seen. Or like, no, that didn't. They CG'd that ball in the air.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, calm down, But I get it,
So she did not find the technical expertise of Happy Gilmore correct. Is that what you're saying?
She found that one interesting. Now, I've told her, have you tried to do the swing?
Oh, the running swing, yeah.
The running swing. And she's like, she goes, I just want to look dumb. I bet she could do it. My wife has this, she could do this reverse. She stands backwards to the ball. It's a up, over, backwards hit she can do.
Really?
She can still hit that like 100 yards, 150 yards.
Wow.
Depending on the day and the weather. But
yeah, but is she good at putt?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad.
We went to, did I ever tell you the story about going to Top Golf?
I don't know. I don't think so.
We go to Top Golf and, everybody Top Golf, if you don't know Top Golf, it's got the big range and then there's all these different like holes with like nets on there and all that. You hit it in there and you get points. Okay. The whole family went. And when I say whole family, I'm like her parents, all my in-laws and my kids. Her sister wins the first thing because my wife doesn't understand the point system,
Oh, okay.
So my sister-in-law is not my wife. She's not a professional athlete. She's not an athlete, really. Yeah. She wins.
Very, very sweet lady, though. I've met her.
Yes. So, with that being said, my wife's like, well, this is complete and utter crap. This is dumb, right? Because she's not winning. It's dumb. So once she kind of reads the thing and figures out the point system on the thing, what does she do? She takes, in the next round, she just chips every ball into the one she's got the distance for. She just keeps chipping in the center. And then, of course, she beats everybody. I'm like, this isn't fun now for you.
Yeah.
How is this fun? It's like, I'm going to go for this one or I'm going to go for this one. Now, nope. She's just like clink, 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 clink. Okay, I win. You guys suck. Woo, chicken wings.
I have an old friend that we used to play ping pong every once in a while. But he really loved ping pong and he was good. He could beat me pretty consistently. Not every single time, but usually he'd beat me. And so we hadn't seen him for a couple of years, but in that time he started taking ping pong very seriously and started taking lessons and doing all this stuff. And he became much more competitive at it. And if you ever played with a very competitive ping pong ball player, not I don't mean recreational. I mean somebody that's gone to tournaments and is really takes it seriously.
No, I have
I
not.
mean, you can't play with them. They're it's insane. And I was talking to him, and he goes, "It's not fun anymore because I can't play with anybody. I can only play with these certain group of people, and I have to go to these events in order to play instead of playing with friends and family around the table. It's not fun anymore."
Wah, wah. Play with
Yeah,
your opposite hand then.
yeah, exactly. I never understood that.
It's like people who learn chess, you know, they get
Yeah,
good at chess and then their friends and family, it's not fun anymore.
yeah.
That's why when I play checkers, I never turn pro. Takes the fun out of it. Takes the fun. You know, my brother, this is how we used to play chess. My brother would set up the
That's
chess
why I don't
board.
excel at anything, to be honest with you. I don't want it to ruin it for
Exactly. You just ruined
other
it.
people. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You know, got the rest of my life to look forward to, right? And my brother used to set up the chess. We'd set up the chessboard, and then my brother would do this thing where he'd take the pawn and he'd go, boom, and knock out as many as and then it was your turn. this is exactly how my first exposure to chess was that. I'm like, I don't think this is how you play it. He goes, yeah, this is how you play it. Just like,
It's the king's game.
yeah. So then years later, I learned how to play chess, but I'm not that good. Just don't.
Yeah, it's funny. There's a handful of little tricks people will play that aren't. I shouldn't say they're not good at chess, but there's a few move combinations you make early on in the game, and pretty much wipe out an opponent if they're new. Wipe them out almost every time. And I've learned a few of those, but again, it's like you got to try not to use them, and they only work in certain. If your opponent doesn't respond in a certain way, then you got them. But
so you typically, this is for you, it's more of a party trick because then like you see
yeah.
like your grandkids going, oh, you want to play man chess? Okay, bink bink bink. You suck later, and then they're like, Grandpa's amazing. Wait, why did he say we suck? That was mean. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. It's like
well,
that. There's a handful of those.
Our good friend Tom Sims has recently taken chess very seriously.
Yeah,
and,
he's always playing now.
Yeah, I think, and I don't know if this is public knowledge, but I think he did hire a coach.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm. At one point, I know he had a couple lessons with a guy, but he's playing people like I'll catch him at the club during the show.
Yeah,
in the back.
Yeah,
what are you doing? I'm playing some guy.
I've seen him back in the office online playing chess.
Playing with some guy named Sergio. Oh, you're gonna lose. His name's Sergio. He's probably a chess player and a model.
Yeah, I've seen, but that's a perfect game for him. He's so analytical and everything, and so chess is a perfect game for him.
Yeah, it's funny because when he showed the electronic chessboard, I thought, well, how do you flick it? This is dumb. This is the dumbest game ever.
So, Brian, I want to bring on not a special guest this time. It's just us, just to be clear. But I did. I thought it'd be interesting because we've done this every once in a while anyway. But I just want to see if I could and anybody else could guess what's new in Brian's office. So we're gonna play this game, and I'm looking here. Let me see. The football was there last week. The 2 books were there. I remember those.
For the record, too, right? I didn't add anything.
Oh, you didn't? Nothing's different?
Nothing's different.
Oh.
If anything, maybe something was taken away.
What is that a hockey stick?
Here?
What is that? Yeah.
That's the good one. That's a good one you should be asking questions about. It's been there, but
what is it? I can't tell. It looks like not a hockey stick. Is it a
is this the item you'd like to explore?
Yeah,
it's
is
worth
it a mic
exploring.
stand? It's not a mic stand. It's a baton for beating people. No,
that's a pretty good guess, but no.
Is it
you could beat somebody?
Is it a golf club?
It is a golf. It's a putter.
Oh, right. Why is it? The handle looks like very decorative.
All right, so my birthday was in June, and so my wife presents me with. Okay, so it's a putter. This is my. It's funny, we were just talking about Spider-Man. Anyways, so this is my super stroke grip because it's gigantic. But apparently These big ones, people like the big ones now, like with arthritic hands, which that's not really me. I
Yeah.
don't know why I got this, but I don't know what old person with arthritis is going, give me a Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, Spider-Man, whatever, grip here. Okay. Now the head, this is my wife's attempt at humor. I don't know if that's going to focus.
Wow.
Okay. So anyways, she thought it looked like the Enterprise. So she
It
wrote
does.
the NCC 1701 on there, right?
Love that.
Which I'm like, I don't get the Star Trek Spider-Man connection. Like,
Mixing universes there.
right. And she goes, "You're going to use this, right?" I'm like, "For real?" Because one, I can't even tell you when the last time I went golfing was, Mike.
Yeah.
But now I have a Star Trek. I think they call these in the golf world. They call these hybrids.
Yeah, because it's two different universes. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Colliding.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and I don't know if you know this about me, Mike, but when it comes to golf, I'm not good at anything except putting.
Ah.
I'm pretty good at understanding the lie and the slope and all that stuff. So that's it.
So last year, you and I did one of those tournament roasts where we made fun of golfers as they came through the tournament. That was a lot of fun. I've done that a few times. It was a lot of fun. We need to do that some more. So if anybody out there is putting on a golf tournament and you want one of the holes to have hecklers on it.
And if you recall, it was rougher for us because without thinking, I said yes to this event and then realized later on it was all ladies. There's nothing worse than guys just.
It is really hard to roast women because all you can make fun of them for is the fact that they're there.
Yeah. You can't make fun of their outfit, their shoes, their. I just kept saying with every bad stroke, "Oh, you meant to go there, right?"
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, it was interesting, but it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Actually, it was during that tournament that I noticed our friend Savannah had a bruise on her arm and made a comment, and it had gotten worse. And I said, "There's a real problem here." And subsequently, it turned out she was diagnosed with illness that is that she's still recovering from.
Right. Which, for the record, she's cured.
Is she completely?
Pretty much.
Okay, good.
She got one more round of treatment. That's a whole thing to go into.
Yeah, don't need to do that.
We're not. Yeah, she's great.
And she lives in Eastern Washington, which I think I might be going to soon for some shows. They're not confirmed yet, but there's a couple of them up there that I might be able to do.
Cool.
Anyway, and also for everybody, if you are interested in seeing Brian or I or both of us, go to our websites, briankohatsu.com and mikejamescomedy.com, and our calendars are there. And you can see when we'll be, where we'll be, what we'll be.
What do you have next, Mike?
Well, now I'm going to have to look. I've got a lot of private parties and events, private corporate stuff for the holidays.
Yeah.
So I am going to go to mikejamescomedy.com calendar.
All right.
And find out what I have.
Well, I have my student showcases this weekend on Saturday, and this class is pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
You know what, Mike? I might need some time filled. So if you,
all right,
there's an opportunity maybe there, Mike, for you to do some time.
What day is it?
Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I could probably do that.
It's coming Sunday.
Yeah, I have on the 16th, Saturday, I have a private event in Scottsdale, then a private event in Apache Junction a couple days later. And then on November 20th, Wednesday, I'll be in Prescott. And I don't think I have anything else till December. Then El Mirage, Scottsdale, Casa Grande, a couple things like that. Then next, I will be in Temecula, California, though, at the casino out there. The Pachango.
Oh, you're doing Pachanga. Nice.
Yeah, for a couple of nights. I'll be headlining out there in January 3rd and 4th. So if you're in Southern California and want to come see me, that'd be great.
Excellent. I will be featuring it at Stir Crazy on the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Black Friday. That's what they
who
call
are
it.
in? Who's doing the show with you?
Jay Penn is the headliner.
Oh, Jay Penn,
Me and Jay Penn. I've got
another good friend of ours. He's a great guy. He's really funny.
Jay Penn. Hey guys, how's it going?
We should have Jay Penn on the show sometime.
We should. Yeah, so be Jay and I at Stir Crazy, and then oddly enough, this is my next show at Stir Crazy. After that is New Year's Eve, of
Oh
which
yeah,
which Mike James bailed on.
I
So you
did.
kids know.
I got a better gut gig. He
I,
got
I have
some right.
I have never done New Year's show. Never done it. I always
Really?
stay home with the family. Tom asked me and said, "Would you like to do it?" And then the whole thing came around like, "We'll have
I
Mike on
can't.
the show," and then like, "Okay, I'm in." And then you bailed, and now I'm
I'm
doing
sorry.
New
I can't
Year's.
believe you've never done it because I feel like every New Year's Eve I have a show.
Nope. I never liked being out. You know,
No, yeah.
it's before I
Huh.
drank. Now I drink all the time. I'm drinking now. No, I never like being out and about. You know, my kids now are older. They don't care about me. My wife's always asleep.
Yeah.
So, anywho, Mike.
Well, there's been a lot of discussion this week on a lot of television shows about the election and the results and the picks. I will say this: I find it refreshing and yet a little concerning that there's not more vehement protests to Trump's picks. There's been a couple that people feel a little controversial about, but for the most part, everybody's been, I feel like, I mean, like, again, there's been people complaining about everything like they always do, but it doesn't seem like it's been as strong opposition that you would have expected. The media, for the most part, just despises Trump and everything he says. He breathes wrong. He talks wrong. Everything he says and does. And a lot of it is kind of messed up, but they lambaste him for everything. But these picks, I feel like there's been very tempered discussion about it.
Here's my analogy for that, Mike. You ever got into a car? You're like, we're going to Vegas. Okay, perfect example of that is the movie, that John Favreau movie, Swingers. Okay,
Oh gosh,
we're going to Vegas. Woo, woo, woo. Then it cuts to them sitting in the car because that's it. All the people who are like, no, no, no,
yeah.
no.
I love the
No. Like they're exhausted at this point. They got to be exhausted.
Oh yeah, you got
even when he wasn't in office, they were still complaining about it all the time. You know what I mean? It's whatever. There's after a while. I don't know if people understood that at this point, their point of view is not everybody's point of view. I mean, finally,
and at this point, you can't even argue that it's the most common point of view. It's so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I find that interesting. So I've been watching a lot of that stuff, but I also have been watching The Penguin. It's pretty good. Have you seen any of it?
I'm really avoiding it because I want to watch it all in one shot.
I think it's all out now. It's all done.
Yeah, I think the final was the other day.
Yeah.
So I've been I clipped through it and I'm like, and then I keep going. But so
it's interesting. Let's see. Can I say this about it? I'm trying to think. Now
I understand if I'm wrong. It's a retelling of All in the Family.
It is. Of course, it's the backstory of the Batman villain, the Penguin, and it's, it's funny. Did you ever see that that mock trailer they did for Oscar the Grouch?
Yeah,
the SNL did.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. If you've never seen it, you got to watch that. But it's really great. The whole time, I get that sense like this is like almost a parody covering of the Penguin, but it's not. It's a very dark, gritty, serious.
Without watching it, to me, it looks and feels like The Sopranos.
Yeah. It's about the Gotham gangs. Yeah, and the mob and stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. So I highly recommend it. I saw it to the end. It leaves off very clearly set up to say, okay, then what happens?
So is this Did you see the Batman?
I think so. Which one? I've seen
So
many
it's the
Batman
one with
reboots.
him as the Penguin.
Oh no, you know what? I don't think I did see that.
It's like a 3-hour movie, and it's
Okay.
very good. I've only watched it once.
Okay.
It's a crime movie. You know, you have to watch it. Like you have to
Yeah.
keep up with what's going on in the politics and what's going on, just like
Yeah,
with
that's the same with the Penguin. It's a
yeah.
lot of that.
So if you haven't seen that, that's why I'm curious to know, is this supposed to be a before or after? I
This
don't
is before.
it's before the events of the Batman.
I can only like I said, I don't know that I saw that, and I don't remember the character in that, but I can only assume it's before because this is really like how he came to be who he
Okay.
became.
So you need to watch the Batman then if you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
And
I
I
will
think
do
you'll
that.
really enjoy it. So
I will do that.
carve out 3
Let's
hours of
end this
your
podcast right now. I'm gonna go turn it on.
carve out 3 hours. Um, so what I've been watching, you're gonna like how this segue works. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
So the only thing I've been watching on HBO is the franchise,
Yeah, been watching that too.
which deals with the production world, which thus brings me to this. Um, anyways, you did mention my hat
Oh yeah,
earlier.
I liked your hat.
We'll get to the hat in a second. So, anyways, franchise, you and I have both been watching. I always find because I come from a production background and everything else, so it's always enjoyable to watch other people suffering. Um, but I like that, the show really shows every single aspect of every problem that happens with every department and everything that's going on. The poor assistant director is having to try to somehow keep it all together. And then recently, my son, who's in college for film, um, he transferred schools. And when he got to the new school, everyone's like, oh, fresh meat. We like this kid. And so my son got thrusted into being the assistant director on the very first project. He's never done it before. He's like, I'm exhausted, but he's got to crack the whip on everybody and make sure everything's going. And he loved it. So he came in the other night and I was watching the franchise. He goes, what's this? And I told him what it was about. And he watched 10 minutes of it and goes, oh, I like this. Like,
Yeah.
so no, it's great.
I like it. It really illuminates to a degree. Now again, I've never been in that world like you have, but I can only imagine. It reminds me of Veep in that it's a parody, silly comedy, tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. But when you watch it, you get the sense that I'll bet this is really close to how it really is.
Yeah.
But this in the franchise, it's a lot about the corporate influence of the filmmaking and the backdrop of they're not solely focused on making the best movie. They're
Right.
highly focused on appeasing corporate interests and everything else.
It's definitely a corporate business, not an art.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I love too is the fact that everybody in it is not really greatly known actors. We've
Yeah.
seen them and stuff, and so
Yeah.
it doesn't cross the line of going, "Oh, this is so and so portraying this." It's kind of
Yeah.
cool to see everybody's believable in their parts. That's just
And
it. Sometimes if it's overcast, um,
it's cloudy, partly cloudy.
cloudy, then you can't see through the clouds, right? We made it work. Improv, absorb the mistake, make it right. So, but you know what I mean? Because sometimes it can be overshadowed. Like, well, that's Tom
Oh
Cruise.
yeah.
People need to be a doctor. You know,
I you and I have talked about this before, but my opinion always is I don't know why films don't use more fresh meat, fresh talent on things because like you could have a film with Tom Hanks and be like, cool, I'll probably watch it because Tom Hanks usually makes pretty good movies. And so I get it for the marketability of it, but then you don't need 17 other famous people where you're paying them 10 times, 100 times more than you could pay somebody else to get a good break. And I've never really understood that. And I mean, let's be honest, most of those actors are not great actors. My favorite bit I think I've ever heard from somebody was who was it that was talking about acting? Oh, David Spade. Acting's easy. He goes, it's easy. I mean, I've never won awards, but it's easy. I mean, he goes back and talks about 4-year-olds that won Academy Awards and
right.
Jodie Foster and whoever else.
Yeah.
And then talks about, people that have left the field of study that they're an expert in, come over to acting and boom, first try, Academy Award. It's easy. And I think that's true. Either you have the knack or you don't. There are some people, Meryl Streep or some others that are like, wow,
Sure.
it's really good acting. but it's like a video game. You know, you can have a video game where the best graphics ever in the history of the world and this cutting edge technology, but nobody cares. Nobody plays it for that. They play
Yeah.
it for the immersion of it.
I will say, let me back up for one quick second on what you said though. Acting in general, I think for film is easy.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think acting is easy. And we're talking about a spade quote, but because in film it's so chopped up. But theater,
Right.
those kind of things, those are people that are acting. I mean, to memorize that much dialogue is crazy. I mean, right now, so like I'm editing. The reason I'm in production mode right now. My office is a wreck, and you should see my living room is a disaster. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you a little clip of what I'm working on. Okay, Mike. It's
Okay.
not really a clip. It's just a. So I'm doing a green screen thing. So I had to set up a dummy to. So there's my dummy in the green screen scenario. So you're probably going, "What's that?" That is representative of my son doing a scene. So
That's funny.
I know what you're saying. You're thinking, "What are you doing? A Mike Myers film?" No, but anyways, yeah. So I mean, I've got crap all over the place. So I'm 100%. So I'm wearing this hat because here's the thing. So you see, 1920 by 1080. Okay, that's
Yeah.
full HD. Okay, so the reason I'm wearing that is because my son and I were at Hobby Lobby last Christmas, and I saw in one section it said it was like a bunch of posters for monster trucks, and it said 4x4. And I said, "Oh, that's great if you like trucks. What if you're in production? How come there's no 4x3 or 16x9 or 1920 by 1080?" Anyways, he had this hat made for me.
Oh, he
So
did. That's cool.
yeah, and when I opened it up, I'm like, "Oh man, that's funny." And then it was funny because he listened to me, and so it was just quite a cheery moment. So, anyways, so I've been doing that, and then getting ready for that. But just to piggyback on what we are just talking about, the thing that I'm doing, I've got lines, and I've had to memorize them, and
Are you acting in his production? Is that what you're doing?
this is my production. So,
Oh,
which by the way, I've pitched all of us for my son's productions down the road. Which
yeah, you mentioned that.
he's like, "Talk to my people," and I was like, "What?" So.
I'll have my casting director get back to you.
Very quickly at 21 and in school, you got people. I don't know how that works, but anyways, poor kids falling behind because I was already in business for over a year by the time I turned 21. Anyway, no, but yeah, so hopefully if I can knock out this stuff this weekend, my house. So I thought my wife was going to be like, "Can you wrap this up before Thanksgiving?" So I can have my house back. And so I was trying to schedule everything to get it done. And then she says to me, "Hey, you think you can be done by December 15th?" I'm like, "Don't tell me that. That gives me a whole month to procrastinate and make this house worse, So anyway, but it's all going swimmingly. That was all from test footage, and test footage looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks so good that I told my son, I said, it's going to rely on how well we pull this off, because if the acting sucks, that's because we suck. So my son and I are both in this little sketch I wrote.
Cool. I'm
So
looking forward to it.
this is how my special will start, is with this particular sketch.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we're having fun too, because I'm shooting. I decided not to shoot 4K, but I'm shooting Ultra HD just because of the formatting. Because I figured it's not going to a movie theater.
It
But
might.
maybe.
I don't know.
Actually, I thought about premiering it at a movie theater, just having a bunch of friends and family. Yeah,
That'd be fun to do that.
I just need to find $16 million, Mike. Yeah.
For distribution.
Yeah, I got to fill in that green screen with something. Like lasers, giant monsters.
That's funny.
So, but yeah, so that's been my big thing right now. And then of course, between that and then being at the club teaching and then working at the club, then this week is the final round of the preliminaries for the funniest person in the universe tonight.
So the preliminaries. So the people going up this week have not been up for the contest yet.
First time.
So,
yep. So
and then the next round, because what is it? 4 people from each round?
5 people from each round.
Oh, 5. So you
Yes.
still have a lot of people to go through even after this.
So we'll have 15. Yeah, we'll have two semifinals with 15 people per semifinal
Okay.
round.
Okay.
And then out of those, I'm not sure on the math on this. It's 15 and 15, and then out of that, it's the top. I think it's the top 5.
Of each of them. So you'll end up with the top 10 for the
Top 10,
final.
10 for the final.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. So it'll be
Yeah.
good. Gonna be good. Gonna be interesting. That's the word, Mike.
So how much time do they do on the preliminary? They each get
Everybody does
5 minutes?
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
And then
5 minutes across the board.
the next round is how much time? 7 minutes? 10 minutes?
You know what? Let me pull this up because I want to speak to you with some actual
knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Just want to make sure. You know, that's the sad thing. Most of the time I have this memorized, but at this point in my life, I'm just my brain's mush, Mike. It does not say. That's really helpful. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, doesn't say. Okay. Anyways, I believe that's it though. It's 5, 5, 10. Yeah, I think that's right. Or maybe it's 6. You know, it's 6. I take it back. It's 6. Yeah, it's the top 3 in the semis. So it's 6, and those 6 then do 10, I believe.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Don't quote me on that, America.
Well, anyway, it's a contest, and there will be a winner. And just so people know, if you don't know this, the past winners have gone on to extreme greatness. I think one of them went on to headline Bridget's at one point. And no, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know who the winners were, to be honest with you. Who were the who the
Mary
past winners?
Upchurch? Mary Upchurch won.
Mary Upchurch has done well. She's moved on. She's
She did
living
well.
in Vegas
She ended up
now.
after that. She moved to Vegas, right? Now she's been doing stuff in Vegas a lot, and then getting out there a little bit more. And then year 2 is Adam Dominguez, who was
Adam's been busy,
and Adam's been busy getting out there on the road more and more. They win $1,001, Mike, and the world's coolest trophy, which is not even a trophy.
Yeah, it's basically it's a necklace, but I wouldn't even call it that. It's like if
America, if you had like Flava Flav's got a giant clock with a giant gold, just replace that clock with like a giant like medal.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's like it's like a trophy
huge.
that hangs around.
As big as I'm saying with my hands right now. So it's very funny because it is very heavy. So it is very ridiculous if you want to actually wear it around.
Oh, and I would.
Yeah, every day. People would know.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not eligible to enter, so
because you work at the club.
Because I work at the club.
Yeah,
I'm not, and I don't even like nobody at the club judges. By the way,
right?
We keep it like up and up that everybody.
So I've been asked to judge a few times for that contest. It's fun. It's interesting.
I understand you judge even when you're not judging.
I do. I stand on the back with my arms folded.
Pretty judgy.
And judge anyway. Yeah.
You should wear a judge's robe and just kind of walk around. Fill the air.
And I don't just judge the performers. I judge the audience. I judge everybody. I judge the servers as they're walking by.
The cook,
I judge everybody.
Mm-hmm. You walk out, you're like judging like the atmosphere out at Westgate, the fountain. Yeah. Food in other restaurants. It's all good, right?
It's all good. I watched Reagan last night, the movie.
Will.
Have you seen it?
Will. No.
Dennis Quaid does a really good job.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I can see him doing it. Who doesn't like Dennis Quaid?
Right.
He's like second to Kurt Russell, everybody.
He does really. I don't know. He just really does a good job with it. It's funny because before watching it, I had heard great things, friends, but we have, common beliefs on things, and I thought, well, I'm going to try to find the reviews on it. So the reviews are pretty negative for the most part. But again, it's a political movie
Oh, wait a minute.
only in the sense that it deals with a political figure. The
Right.
movie itself is not very
It,
political at
yeah,
all.
it's just about his life, right?
It's about his life, yeah. And so, but I think because of that, you get a lot of negative review. Well, it's about Reagan, but it doesn't show the fact that he he really messed up the second floor White House bathroom when he pooped. It doesn't go into every detail of every problem he ever had.
Nancy.
But it's a story of his life. So for
Yeah.
that, it's actually really good, and it's
That,
heartwarming and all of that. It talks about all of his victories and stuff. It does gloss over the Iran Contra stuff. It kind of glosses over how he dealt with the AIDS epidemic and all
yeah.
of that, but very briefly. And most of it's interesting. The best part about it, I didn't expect this, is the whole story is being told from the perspective of an ex KGB spy or operative.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whole story is narrated by, this is who he was. I kept warning that he would be the downfall of our union, all of that stuff. But that person is played by John Voight.
Huh. And at
It's
any
really
point,
good. It was
did
really
John
good
Voight pull
storytelling.
out a Swiss Army knife and pull up a spoon and go, "This is Agent Gilligan."
Nobody did tell the whole thing from inside of a postal box.
Oh, nice. Okay. I understand. Reagan was fairly successful though in its run in the theaters and then
Yeah.
streaming, obviously. And then I understand now that Al Pacino is doing Dukakis. So look for that. It's gonna be good.
That's funny.
Welcome to 55 plus references.
Oh man,
You'd watch Dukakis
I would
with
watch that in a
Pacino.
minute. Heck yeah.
I don't want to wear that tank hat. Come on, just put it on. It's called a helmet. I ain't wearing the tank
It's
hat.
funny. It's funny that was the downfall of his. People blame that image. So Dukakis was running for president. He did an image where he's sitting in a tank and he had kind of a silly looking helmet going by. That was the downfall of his candidacy. And you compare that to the things today, you just think,
Yeah.
holy cow.
Come on,
That
you want to
is
watch?
so
You want to
nothing.
watch that movie?
I would watch it.
Whoever said put that tank helmet on is dead. I want him dead. Sir, your sister is here, Olympia Dukakis. You tell that moonstruck lady to get out of here right now. Dukakis was so mean.
Yeah.
Say hello to my little friend, helmet.
In a tank.
It's funny though. Even without seeing it, you see it in your head if you know what we're talking about. Dukakis in that tank wearing that helmet just as it drives by. Oh man. I just cracked myself.
I'm trying to get a good picture of that because honestly, I remember because I was just looking at this, like, I don't know, it's probably been a year or two, but I was looking at it, I thought, what was the big deal with that? It's really not anything.
Right.
But
it was really just,
that they say that ended his candidacy because he looked so goofy in that tank.
but you know what's funny is I just lost my train of thought. Is what's his name a few years ago in the campaign, Democrat. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shoot, gosh, I haven't heard from him in forever.
But same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That we went through a time period was just,
this, guys, was the downfall of his candidacy because everybody said he looked stupid in that helmet. Now you compare that to some of the images today that you have of, I mean, either party, honestly, but I mean, of the things that Biden said and did before he won the election 4 years ago. I mean, holy cow.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up another image for you, Mike, that kind of, you might remember this one too. This show is brought to you in real time.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry, folks. This is just how it works. This is the way we roll. That's wow, that was an old song. Oh, I can't pull it up. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
Are you kidding me?
Anyways, it was going to be so good. Actually, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share it this way, Mike. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to present it. I'm going to present it. I'm going to share my screen.
Yes.
Nope. Here we go. Yep. Let's see if it does it. Is it not going to let me do it? It's not going to let me do it. Are you kidding me? Oh, there it is.
I mean,
here you
go.
go.
You're working on that, Brian. I just
Here
want
you go, Mike. You remember this?
There we go.
The movie Eddie Murphy, Tank?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's very similar to Dukakis.
It is. So compare that to this.
Not to mention, I don't know if you remember, but this movie, Best Defense, kind of ruined Eddie Murphy's career.
That and David Spade.
Dudley Moore. Yeah.
So just again, here, look at this. In comparison, that ruined his candidacy. Compare that to this. I mean, seriously?
But what are we talking about? Is it the jeans or the bike or the helmet?
The whole look.
Or the white shirt? What are those shoes? Are those New Balance? What are those?
I can't tell.
Go back to Dukakis, though. I want to prove a point here. You know why he lost? Look at those eyebrows.
Yeah, that's true.
They're very, I don't want to
Eugene
say
Levy.
They're very Brezhnev at the time. Right.
You're right.
He'd get the Eugene Levy vote now. Who wouldn't want? I'd watch. Now I think you've recasted my movie. Now it's Eugene Levy as Dukakis. Well, I'll wear the helmet if I. You sure I'm not going to look stupid? Oh boy, I'm glad we could bring up Dukakis.
Yeah, he just doesn't. He does not get enough press. I'll be honest.
And I would tell you right now, I don't remember his first name. What was it?
Mike Dukakis.
Mike Dukakis.
I
think you're right. I think it was Mike Dukakis. Wasn't it? No, it wasn't Brian Dukakis. Anybody want to pitch in on this?
What was Howard Dean? That was the guy that screamed.
Howard Dean was a screamer. That's right.
He's a screamer. Yeah. And again, no reason to end this debate. He was just an enthusiastic, yeah. But it came across kind of sounded funny. But you compare that to just the endless, not just faux pas, but over the top crazy talk that.
But you know what? Now, if you look back in the day of like anybody running for president, and you had maybe one joke by Carson, like, I understand Richard Nixon went skiing this whatever, and that was it. It was right off the tip of his nose. No, Ed, no, and that was it. And we all laughed and whatever. And then there was still, you got the Watergate jokes and all that kind of stuff, but not until stuff happened. And then now it's just like, people are trying to mold your brain and also cry. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know, Mike.
So I don't know if you've been following, Brian, but what did you think is the most controversial pick Trump has made for his cabinet that he's announced so far?
Lizzie Borden as health director.
That's a gold. I was gonna say that's a minefield, not a gold mine. That's a minefield right there to even comment on that because of the current health director. But
well, I just picked that. I just got that out of nowhere.
I know, but it just cracked me up because anyway, I think that Kermit the Frog for information, intel.
I will take questions at this time. Yes. No. I've asked you repeatedly to just ask a question, no comments. I've been out of the loop, to be honest, the last 2 days with any kind of news in the news cycle. But Getz, I thought, was kind of interesting for Attorney General.
Who?
Getz? Does it?
Oh yeah. I think that's the most controversial one because he's he's one of those guys that gets on, releases all the video clips whenever he's doing congressional hearing stuff or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
No, and it's makes sense. I mean, that's how the world works now.
Yeah, that he's being investigated, everything else. But like at this point, what senator is not being investigated?
Yeah.
And then once you're not a senator anymore, nobody cares. Once you get out of politics, you ever notice nobody really follows up with what they're doing? You know, it's not, the game's over at that point.
Well, yeah,
You
for
know?
sure.
Yeah. Do you know Al Gore murdered 5 people? I mean, nobody talks about it.
Well, because he's not in the news anymore.
Yeah, nobody cares. There's nothing to gain.
Yeah, so his cabinet picks have been
Case
not,
in point,
like I said, not as controversial as I thought. I think you're right for Getz, but the rest of them, even Elon Musk and all of that stuff, has been more like, all right, I guess we'll see.
mm-hmm.
I don't know how he has time to do even the things he already does, but
the difference between then and the first time Trump was elected versus now, the biggest difference is that when he first, all those cabinet seats, remember how quickly the cabinet seats were kind of like just, there's a lot of turnover.
Yeah.
Him firing them or them leaving, this isn't for me, and just trying to figure it out. Now that he's had time and all that, I think these are going to be a little bit different. I think we're still going to see some turnover, obviously.
Right.
So we'll see. Hang tight. Hey, if you were already clinched before this election, stay clinched.
The reason I was laughing before about your Lee Borden reference to in charge of the health is because here she is.
Yep.
And she's in charge of health. Compare that to who's currently in charge of our health and human services right there. That's why I thought that was funny.
Like Lizzie Borden that let your hair down. Go back. Yep. She's aged appropriately in 100+ years.
Oh my gosh. And this dude here, he's so he's probably one of the ugliest cabinet members in the history of the world. And I'm including Condoleezza Rice in that. Okay.
And let me guess, it's because she's Asian. No.
Well, what do you have coming up, Brian? We already talked about this a little bit. But
yeah,
what do you
big
got
student showcase. I'm working on my specials. Almost going to be done here, hopefully by the end of the year. Then we'll have the big party. We'll do a big reveal of stuff here. We'll do some clips. What do you think, Mike?
That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
We'll reveal it here.
By the way, this happened the other day. I'm very curious to see, because the special was shot like over a year ago, and I was 25 pounds heavier. Which you can tell. I mean, I can tell. But recently, somebody at work grabbed one of those flyers for classes, and they said, "Wow, you lost a lot of weight." I'm like, "How fat was I?" Like, okay, rip that.
I like. You ever hear John Panette talk about people said because he'd lost some weight? John Panette, for those of you who don't know, was a very huge human being, physically large guy. He was very fat, and that was his demise. Really, he's no longer with us. Very funny guy, but he was huge, and apparently he'd lost some weight. And people would tell him, "Boy, you lost weight. I can really tell in your face." And his response was, "How fat was my face?"
Seinfeld used to have a bit about the world's largest man. The world's largest man weighed 800 and some odd pounds, or whatever. And he goes, "This is a guy who couldn't lose just 100 pounds." And people are like, "Oh my gosh, you look great. I feel great. I can actually put my arms down to the side. I can get up one step. It's really quite great."
Yeah. I once had somebody come up to me and go, "So, did you notice?" And I did not notice. Apparently, they had lost a few pounds, and I did not notice.
Yeah, that's a tough one too. Like, huh?
Yeah.
You're pregnant? What?
Yeah.
I mean,
did you notice? Oh, you got your hair done. No? What is it? Yeah.
I've heard that too. And like, so-and-so's pregnant. And you're like,
I made the
wait until they tell me with their own lips.
We had some friends over. This one, I was in the military. We were in military housing. A guy had been serving with for a while. He and his wife, they were good friends of ours. They came over for a Christmas party. They were there first before the rest of the guests. and I knew she was pregnant because that was just common knowledge. We all knew she'd been pregnant, and she came over, and they said something to the effect that they didn't bring their kids, and I said, "Well, you brought one of them." I kind of looked at her belly, and she looked. Apparently, she had the baby like 2 weeks before.
Oh,
So, but I mean, she still had
gray
that
area.
a little bit of
Right. Sure.
left
It's a
there, and
gray
I
area.
didn't know how far along she was or anything. And so I know it's a huge faux pas. Guys aren't supposed to ever mention anything like that. And I was 21 or 22,
When did
and
you
I
get out
said
of
that
jail?
they left. We never heard from them again. They were good friends of ours, and they never spoke to us again.
Wow, that's
I think that was an overreaction.
an overreaction.
Yeah, they
I
left
mean,
the party
honestly,
early.
here's the thing. I think maybe because we're comics too, is one of those things where, man, how can you hold anything personally for
Yeah,
real long?
yeah,
Either see the humor in the moment that what happened, or
yeah,
understand that it was a misunderstanding and move
yeah,
on.
yeah.
You know,
Speaking of that, Gene
But
Moore and I are on speaking terms again.
we're naming names. We're naming names. Okay.
I think he'd appreciate that.
I got a few people to call this morning. It's like one of those shows where you're like, hey, if your parents are still living, give them a call. But this time it's like when you've wronged somebody, it's like reverse. It's like an actual positive Jerry Springer. Call somebody, rectify this situation, make it right.
Oh, all right. Well, I've got shows coming up. They're on my website. You go there. Most of them are private shows, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I've been watching too much Penguin. To be honest with you.
By the way, it's off subject, but it's on subject definitely. Have you seen this clip going around of Adam West dressed as Batman singing "Pow Zam Alakazam" or whatever?
No.
Yeah, yeah, find it. It's so old it still has a time code on it. It's like some show, but it's in color. It's him. He slides down a pole and he's dressed as Batman singing. It's a Hollywood Bowl TV show or something like that.
It's not. Oh, it's actually. I'm trying to find it here. Well, maybe for next time.
It's all over the internet. All over the internet. Yeah, so check that out. But yeah, okay. So what did we learn today? Dukakis still relevant as in comedy.
Yes. Yeah,
eyebrows always funny.
And be careful what hat you wear. It could ruin your candidacy.
Yeah, and with that, I say.
Okay, we will see everybody next time, and we have special guests coming. World famous trumpeter. You'll know who I'm talking about when you see him. All right. See you later, Brian.
All right. Bye, everyone.